India. Let's continue with this $4 account. You can see right here, even if I go back in time like I've done this before, we're still looking at the same shandies. Right now I have this one trade running, so I'm gonna explain how I got that trade and what I'm gonna do now. Let's start by withdrawing. You can see that we have made almost $708 from $4. Let's start by withdrawing at least, let's say $200. So I'm just gonna come here and do a quick withdrawal. Right, let's see. Yes, we finally done with the withdrawal. So now we have withdrawn a total of $675. Of course, we have $34 left. That is how much we have left, and of course the goal is to grow this account back up so that we reach the 1000 mark that I spoke about on another video. Remember, on another video I said that this needs to get to 1000. This needs to get to 1000. If you can withdraw $1000 from depositing just $4, that will be super dope. But how did I get this trade? If we look at the one that is running right now, I'm just gonna show you. I've already shared this before, but let me maybe start by highlighting. Let me just move this a bit by highlighting the structure that I was looking at. Right, so if I start by drawing right here, I was looking at this particular highs right here, or rather this particular range where price is just moving sideways, and I had looked for an opportunity to sell on this resistance right here, but this opportunity came from a lower time frame. Of course, you must remember we can also look at what the Bollinger Band is doing. I've already shared a strategy that is looking at bands. So if our Bollinger Bands, if we have 3 Bollinger Bands that are doing this, with the upper one being a resistance, the lower one being a support, as soon as price goes all the way up there and we get a rejection candle of some sort, we can look for an opportunity to sell coming all the way back to the middle band. So if we go ahead and add that Bollinger Band shandies right here, let me just go back in case you didn't see what I did. So what I did, I clicked on this F sign right here, or you can just tap here and you're gonna see it again. Click on it and then you go to Bollinger Bands right here, right, and then you can just choose the 20, the default as it is. You can change the color to your own preference and then click done. And if you look at these bands right here, starting from H1, this is exactly where I started at. Okay, so if you look at H1 right here, you can see that price have gone all the way up to this particular band right here. Okay, it have gone from this band, moved, didn't even hesitate here, went all the way up to this band. So, and it did a great thing, because as soon as it reaches this particular band, it gave us a rejection candle. Not this one, the previous one on 30 minutes, 15 minutes, there is another one. But in order for you to understand how to sync these time frames together, just do a simple thing. Just draw a line on the highest time frame that you have chosen. Okay, so if this is the highest time frame where the bands are, because remember these bands are actually dynamic, they're gonna keep on showing you different things on different time frames. So I've marked where price was at that time. Price, this is exactly where the bands are. Remember what we're using these bands for. These are not signals, but these are actually our support and resistance. So in this case, this is our resistance, the lower one will be our support. And remember, what we want to do is we want to buy our support and we'll also like to sell our resistance. Okay, so that is that. I've already shared this. Like I said, I'm just going through the same shandies again with a trade right here. Right, so since here this is our TP point, right, this is our TP point. Why is this the TP point? Because remember, if we look at the structure of these particular shandies right here, if I zoom out, you can see price is not really in a trend. So that is another shandies that you have to look at. Price is not really in a trend, but it is sort of moving sideways. Okay, so it is trapped between this lower support right here and then this resistance on top around that. So you can see that it's bouncing between those particular regions. Okay, so we are in what we call a range or consolidation. We are in a range, or you can call it sideways. We are just moving sideways in this case. We are not moving up, we are not moving down in a trend, we're just moving sideways. We're in a consolidation, just like that. So this right here, that's our resistance. This right here, that's our support. So the best way to trade consolidations, of course, you can use the Bollinger Bands, and whenever price goes up to touch this, you look for a signal. And we've already discussed the signal before, that the pin bar is one hell of a simple signal that you can look at, but make sure that your signals are at extreme highs and extreme lows. Okay, extreme highs and lows, because most of the times you find people that are maybe trading stuff like chart patterns like this. When they see a pin bar here, they assume that this is a set. Look at where this pin bar is happening. If this is your pin bar right here, you will want it to be at the extreme high, okay, not at the extreme low whatsoever, especially for a set. So that is what we're looking at, that at least this should be near this particular highs, not somewhere in here inside, blocked by this particular shandies. Want it to be near those particular highs. Right, so moving forward with this shandies, now that we've established as to what the market is doing here on H1, which will be maybe our highest time frame in this case, if this is in a range and we're sitting at the resistance, what I've done to actually take this trade is I went down to lower time frame, and kaboom, this was the initial trigger that I saw, which is this particular candle right here, this red bodied candle right here, the one that actually gave me that opportunity to sell this particular shandies. Right, and if we zoom out, let me just show you where the stop loss is. Remember, we always have to use a stop. It needs to be on top. I'm not seeing it. Let me see if I can move this line here. Our stop should be somewhere outside this. Yes, our stop is here, as you can see. Let me just minimize this. Our stop is up here at the upper part of the shandies. Okay, so that is the trade. Our stop, it's outside there. So we want to get in, get out with this particular approach. We are on resistance. Now we have a pin bar. This is very common. I've taught this a lot in the complete course. Check it out on the Vindi side. And by the way, I'm doing the 31 days classes for November. These are the last classes I'm going to be conducting for 2021. 31 days. Check it out. The link's gonna be down in the description or down the pinned comment. Check it out. It's gonna be for 31 days. Will be annoying me, asking me questions live on Zoom. Make sure that you have proper internet connection, because I don't want people to come and say, oh no, I didn't have internet, or load shedding or whatnot. All right, make sure that you are ready to work. All right, so that is the shandies. If maybe let's say you were to enter this particular guy, you can still enter this, but unfortunately I cannot re-enter this because I already have a trade. And now that we do not have, look at this, we no longer have that 200 and something dollars that we had, because we just took profits. I mean, we just withdraw some money right here. So if we come here, you can see we no longer have that shandies. All right, we only have $34. So we need to grow this guy back up again. All right, we need to grow this guy back up again. We no longer have what we had. Okay, so that is what we need to do right now. So whatever amount that we're gonna have, if we can push this to $50, if we can just make $20 from this one, then that will be dope, because then we'll be growing it slowly back up to maybe $200 more, so that we can only withdraw when we pass $120. We don't withdraw less than that. Okay, so that is very important. So that is how I got this particular shandies. I'm simply looking at this particular guy and simply looking at this. So if this is your resistance, change the time frame, see if there's another signal in real time. Of course, you're looking at this 15. If this was the signal right here, the red one right here, and the stop loss on top. Most of the times price is going to do this where it drops and then goes up and then does that until it comes back. So if you look at where the target is, the target can be at various areas, because I got questions where people are like, where do we place our take profits? You can use the middle band. If you're selling right here, you can use this guy right here as your TP, but the band that I've used, which is this, is on a higher time frame, a little bit different from this one. So it's up to you. You can see it's here on the H1 middle band right here. That is where I've placed my TP. So do I panic when price is doing that, going in that direction? Not really, because the stop loss, as much as that stop loss is a little bit away from that, but the fact that it's there and it's not going to actually blow these shandies out, that is a dope thing. But maybe if we drop a little bit, get to this point somewhere around here, this is where we might sort of start chopping off some profits. Remember, we need to grow this account back up again. That is the main key, that is the main goal. So stick around, there's gonna be more videos coming up. And if you look at this, guys, risk management, I won't even say much. Risk management is key. Don't just take trades without stop loss. Stop loss is mandatory. You're not a magician. Even if you were, you're still going to get stopped out like nobody's business. Make sure that you have a stop loss. Make sure that you always plan your stuff. All right, so that is that. Hopefully this is going to push nicely and get there. And the next update, I hope, will be actually withdrawing some more profits from this particular tiny account.